even though I don't know if you know this, but I actually got my start in marketing in network marketing.
Did you really?
Yeah. So
That's
like
fascinating.
out of the Air Force, like, so I mean, this is like 2005, late 2005, early 2006. I mean,
Oh man, I want to know what
yeah, I
company it
mean,
was.
MySpace was still a thing at the time. You had to paint the picture, right? You know what I mean? Like, it was a legitimate tactic if you were a small business owner, trades like I work with right now, and you own a trades company. Like, if
Yeah,
at that moment, if you didn't have a yellow pages, you were dumb, right? And now, like, yellow pages is all online and it's all but dead.
right.
So just a completely different time. And so when I got out, the first couple of years, I got a job at an infomercial agency that did like television infomercial products and multi-level marketing products and systems and courses, and that's what I did.
Hmm.
So like, script writing and TV buying and video editing and all these kinds of things. That's kind of where I cut my teeth in learning it. And it's cool because I learned really like the psychology on sales, because they are really good at that. That industry is really, really good at selling
It's true.
um, in a very, very quick window. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like a 30-second TV spot taking someone from never heard of this product to calling on the phone in 30
Right.
seconds is pretty magical process.
Hmm.
And it's pretty cool to learn that. And I've been able to use that throughout my career, just kind of pulling back from some of those things that I've learned.
That's awesome. What was the company that was your first network marketing company you joined?
So it wasn't direct. It was through an agency. The agency is no longer in there, but I worked with all kinds of products like Jeunesse and Amway and a few
Yeah.
others, a couple televangelist products and a couple other things. So, I mean, there's some big ones. Some of them, I don't know if you follow that niche a lot, but there's a lot of them that like start up and just flop fast. Like
Yeah.
there was one, God, I can't remember, something with mommies something or another. And it was here locally in like the Jacksonville, Florida area. It's a cool product. It's like all healthy stuff for moms, like, baby clothes that are natural, all kinds of like natural stuff. But it was an MLM line. It had a really great first year and tanked fast.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know why, but I was a part of that. You know what I mean? So I saw most of them. They kind of like had this great idea. They would come up and then they would tank fast. But it seemed to be mostly on the leadership and recruiting side of things where that would struggle. And then you have
Yep.
some of the bigger ones like the Amways of the world where they've been around for half of forever. You've got
Hmm.
tons and tons of like leaders in their space, and they're doing great. You know.
Yeah. It's a lot
Um,
more focused on the product itself rather than just the recruiting side.
Correct.
Like
Yeah,
there's
and I saw
real
it. Yeah, and I saw
channels.
some of it. It's like, well, that's you're bordering between a pyramid scheme, and the primary difference between a pyramid scheme and an MLM is whether or not you're product focused or team focused. Because
Hmm.
like, our government is a pyramid. Your company is a pyramid. My company is a pyramid, right? There's a CEO, and it trickles down from there. So it's not the structure of people that makes it illegal or not illegal. The definition, according to FCC, is like, I'm paraphrasing here, of course, it's whether the entire business model is just recruiting within that pyramid, right? And like a certain percentage of the activities have to be like actually selling a real product. And Amway's
Hmm.
got that figured out. You can just buy stuff from Amway if you want to. I
Right.
mean, I don't know what their sales are these days, but like you don't have to be a part of their like their their line, right? Their team line to buy something, you know? And you get these other ones that are just like team. That's all they focus on. They really don't even care what they sell. Those
Hmm.
ones tend to flop pretty hard and pretty fast.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It's interesting the lessons that I've learned from some of those experiences. Like I did Mono V, I think was one that was like a health supplement. I did Legal Shield.
I did some video spots for that company too.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Early
So
on, like year one. Yeah.
the vector marketing for Cutco knives, like I worked there for a while,
Oh,
and
that's cool.
that's not as much network marketing, but boy, I learned a ton and have actually applied some of their principles in selling Cutco knives to even when I build out my sales teams. Because one of the
Were they
things
one of those companies that did like the in-home dinner party kind of selling?
it was kind of like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
They have the demos, they have the knives. You take out your
Mhm.
knife packet and you're like, bring out
Yeah.
your tomatoes, bring out your, like, cut this
Yeah.
leather,
I
cut
know
the
what company
penny.
I know what company you're talking about. I've seen those before. Yeah.
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 And it was a blast, but this is how the recruiting process went. For those that are listening, if you want to know like how to tee up a salesperson for success, it was pretty amazing. I got in there and they had all of us a big group interview onboarding process. So
Mhm.
there's like 12 of us in this big conference room and they're all training us at the same time on how to do this. And they start out by saying, okay, we're going to make a competition. Before we get started, we're gonna have a competition. The winner is going to get like this really nice, expensive knife. And you're going to see, we're going to start a timer. And in 5 minutes, we're going to see how many names you can write down. And it could be family members, it could be friends, it could be people at your church. You can get out your phone. You can do whatever you want, but it's going to be actually legibly written names all the way down, and begin. And so you don't have much context as to why you're doing this. You're just like, my mom, my dad, my brother, my sister, my nephew, my cousin, just start going like crazy. And at the end of the 5 minutes, they give out the winner and they're like, okay, this is your cold calling list. And for the next hour, this script that you're going to call every single one of these people and like say, I was like, oh no, what have I done?
Yep.
I'm putting names and numbers of people, but like we did it, and it was definitely uncomfortable. And but the social pressure, kind of being there, being all part of that. And I sold thousands of dollars worth of knives just from that one single exercise.
That's really awesome.
Yeah. And so like when I've hired salespeople for Wise Coatings, one of the first initial things that we do is have them come into the business and say like, okay, here's how the commission works. Here's our structure, leads that we supply to you, leads that you bring up on your own. First, we're just going to go ahead and just do like a little brain dump exercise. I want to start a timer, see how many names you can come up with. And I literally follow a very, very similar type of process. And when I started Wise Coatings, my first salesperson, I had him do this, and he was coming up with builder names and people that own businesses. And then literally it's like, okay, for the rest of the day, you're just going to be calling them, telling them what you're doing, saying that we're looking for 5 homeowners, 5 garages to do with a huge discount because we're wanting to kind of get some of our portfolio put together.
Yeah.
And it was great. Like he sold a whole bunch of ones before we even started spending $1 on marketing. That's just great. Through that one single thing.
Yeah. And then did you use that for like your training videos and all those first initial projects that you were doing?
I mean, we recorded it and we did load it into it. And then we have franchisees that come in during their training week. We do the same process with them because, the whole thing about marketing is people just have to know that you exist. And nothing pained me more in my business than when I would go to a customer's house and realize that they just hired somebody to do a service that I provide. And then it dawned on me, they're like, I didn't even know that you did that kind of a thing. It's like, shame on me, for not being loud enough and letting people know what it is I'm doing and being proud of it. And, wanting to put my name out there. And it's just kind of those daily consistent activities that can make all the difference, where you just don't have to be so 100% reliant upon, digital spend. Like it has to be a blend between the two. It has to be prospecting efforts and intentional work, and then supplementing and making sure you have a lever that can actually scale.
For sure.
Which is great.
I think anyone that's trying to do like straight up ads, like it's so risky. I mean, if you get the right creative right away, you can launch, and you did pretty well. Like, I mean, you got Wise Coatings to 100K in what, like 4 months, 3 months, something like that. Mm-hmm. Like really, really short timeline. Of course, that you had a sales and marketing background before, so that helped a lot. Yes. But you can scale that quick, but most people, especially when they're DIYing it without that sales and marketing experience or without the capital hire an agency, it's way more risky, and it's way more likely that you're going to have quite a few ads that stumble and don't. So like for me, I always love to have healthy balances of like organic content and paid stuff for like myself and our clients. Like it just gives a really good balance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. So, that 1% better every day, consistent activities, just picking up a phone and calling people that have businesses that are complementary to your own. If you just did that every single day, you would be shocked at how much additional partners and strategic partners and networking building that you could do. It's just, do we do it? Do we actually put it on our calendar? It's one thing to just say we're going to do it. We know that we need to do it. It's another thing to actually just put it out in our calendar as a plan, which, I mean, if I don't do that, it just doesn't happen, straight up.
Hey, if you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe. If you're looking for help growing your contracting business, I invite you to join my free community. In there, we go live with amazing trainings, share resources and downloads, plus you get free help from me and from peers. That link is down below to join, and we'll see you in the next video.